Hey guys. All right. So apparently my mug is going to be all over Facebook today doing all these videos, but I'm trying to play catch up a little bit. So this is on my personal channel because I'm going to start keeping a dialogue to show my challenge. The challenge of positive thinking, and I'm going to start reporting on the good stuff that's happening in our lives. So I just want to start out today with the first day of the positive challenge for me, because I decided if I'm going to give advice, I'm going to take it too, because it's pretty darn good advice. Um, and it's free, and I like anything free. So listen, yesterday I started the challenge, and I went in the day with an attitude of thanksgiving and abundance and accepting that life is not supposed to be so hard. We've had a lot of challenges this past year. We've gotten through a lot of crap. We've had some serious blessings this year. Some blessings didn't go quite how we planned, but nonetheless, blessings in and of themselves. And we give thanks for that, and thanks for our family and our health and everything else. And yesterday, I went in to the day, I started the day early, and I just decided that this was the start of a new life. And everything I do, I'm going to be as positive as I can about it and not dwell on the negative. And it made a huge difference. I run a shop on eBay with Lady Moon. We put all our stuff together and we have it there. By the way, you can visit and buy stuff. I totally won't object. But anyway, and my sales have been really slow because I'm just getting started. It takes time for that stuff. And yesterday I had a sale completely unexpected. That little broom right there hanging on my wall, that's going out today. Somebody bought that. And it feels really great to be creating all these things that I'm making, and seeing that people like my stuff, because I've always been a creative creature but not had that outlet. And the fact that it's bringing in income allows me to stay at home. Jeff works his butt off all the time for us, and I'm so thankful for it. But there's so much going on in our lives right now, health wise and everything else, that I needed to be home. I needed to be here. Somebody had to be here a lot. And I have been, and I've been able to, because Jeff works his tail off, and I've been doing this, which is bringing in a little extra income aside from working at Diagon Alley. Anyway, so I just went in with abundance and thankfulness, and boom, I get a sale yesterday to bring in even more abundance. Of course, I give thanks for that. And then today, we've been a little nervous because my youngest son, Dawn, my cutie patootie, he's 17 years old. And when he was born with a congenital heart disease. Your heart has two valves. It has the aortic valve and the pulmonary valve. And the pulmonary valve, when he was born, was not connected to the heart. And that's the one that pumps the blood to your lungs, which means that's how you breathe. That's how you get oxygen to your body. That was closed off when he was born. The only reason he didn't pass away when he was born, or he wasn't stillborn, was babies are born with an extra vein on their heart. And that vein also feeds blood to the lungs for about 72 hours. And then it closes off, and the pulmonary artery begins to take over. In his instance, we were fortunate because he was still in the hospital when it closed off. He almost died, but the doctors were able to give him medicine to reopen that vein, which sustained him till they could get in there, see what was going on, and correct the problem. They did that at 10 days old. At 6 months old, he had his first open heart surgery, and unfortunately, they had to take an aortic valve from a human donor, which means a human had to pass away for him to live, which I will forever be grateful for. And if I get choked up talking about this, please forgive me, but this has been a 17-year walk, and I've learned a lot, and it's a struggle sometimes, but we've been so overly blessed. So these are tears of joy, not tears of sorrow. But anyway, at 6 months, he had his first open heart surgery, and that sustained him till he was 8 years old. He was in third grade. He was a little dude, not growing much because this valve was still, there was a lot of leakage. He wasn't able to grow at the rate most kids do. So he was very small. And at 8 months, that valve started to deteriorate, break down really fast. And we had to have another surgery. So at third grade, we had another open heart surgery, but this time We used an FDA approved experiment of a cow's jugular vein. It's called a bovine jugular vein, called the Contegra valve. And this Contegra valve is a natural occurring vein in a cow's neck that, when they bend down to eat, closes off to stop the blood flow. In your valve in your heart, what happens is the blood gets pushed through, and then that valve shuts off so that there's no blood backflow. And in this instance, they were using these jugular veins to put in the hearts as a natural occurring valve, so that one, they strip the DNA out of it, so it's basically just this piece of flesh that has no DNA in it. And while it's unfortunate that animals die for this, in this instance, can I just say, yes, animal lives matter, but if it's a matter of a cow's jugular vein where this cow is also going to be used for food and supply sustenance to other people, but we can take an extra part out, and this is another part that's not wasted of this animal that's killed, as opposed to a human actually having to die, I would take the cow any day. So after talking to the doctors at Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital, Dr. Fiore sat me down, had a real talk with me, and we decided to go with this. At the time, it was only in its 4th year of experimentation. It had been approved by the FDA, and so far they'd had great success. Well, here we are 9 years later, and we haven't had to have another open heart surgery. Had we done a human part, they deteriorate so fast, it's a good chance we'd had 2 or 3 by now. But with this particular operation, we are 9 years into it, and of course we expect about 10 years out of something like that, especially because when he had this done, holy cow, did he grow. Like, we shot up a clothing size every couple months for the first 4 years. I was buying new clothes every couple months because I couldn't keep up with him. Well, now my little boy is officially today 5'11" and weighs 273 freaking pounds. We are going on a diet. But he is a hoss. He is a healthy hoss, and just a brilliant kid. He was also born with severe autism, and that, as crazy as it sounds, has been just an amazing experience. My kid is awesome. He warms my heart every day. All my kids do, but I learn so much from him, like not to give a damn what anybody thinks. He walks around this earth doing his thing. His philosophy is don't worry, be happy. And you know what? I'm inclined to go with that, because he walks around here. He does not let people get him down. He does not let what people say about him stop him. If they tell him he can't do something, he does it anyway. He's just an amazing, amazing creature on this earth, and I love him with all my heart. And today we went in for our 6-month checkup because they had found some enlargement in his heart, which is kind of the early signs that something's breaking down in there. When the heart's backflow of blood begins to increase, when the valve isn't working like it's supposed to, it can cause the heart to enlarge. Now, his heart's always been a little more enlarged just because of the work that's been done. It's a little more enlarged than normal, but we've seen an increase in that again. And we were all, I'm not gonna lie, we were all worried because, let's face it, trying to explain to a child who's severely autistic and has almost no communication, which that's changed too, but doesn't always understand what you're trying to explain and can't communicate when they do understand. Trying to explain to them that their chest is going to be busted open, and I'm sorry to be graphic, but their heart's going to be stopped, and you know, all this craziness is going to go on while they're sleeping, and then they wake up and they have these staples and tubes and all this junk and stuff stuck down their throat. Trying to explain that to a child when they don't necessarily have the capacity of understanding, that is the hardest trial I have ever been through in my life, short of fear of losing him and having to bury my son. That's just been the craziest, trying to go through that. So having to do that again, even though he's older and he understands more, that communication is still not clear sometimes. So I'm not looking forward to the time, if ever, which we know it will happen, but if I have to sit down and explain this to him, I just give it over to the powers that be, that he's going to understand me and he's going to be okay with the fear. Of course, he's going to be afraid, but that he knows mom's here and would not let anything bad happen to him. We just kind of have to give his life to know that it's going to be whatever it is. But anyway, we went in today with a huge positive attitude that everything was going to be okay and that there was no surgery going to happen, that we were not going to have to do this right now. This wasn't the time for it. And lo and behold, we walked in and yeah, there's a little enlargement, but everything sounds great. His color is good. He's not showing any signs of weakness. He's not showing any susceptibility to illnesses right now. Matter of fact, his asthma that for the last 4 years has been horrible every time he goes back to school. We end up in the hospital with pneumonia. You know, thank goodness and thank God, thank goddess that we haven't had that. His medicine's working great. He hasn't even had a sniffle. And we're so excited because this is just such a breakthrough and such a great thing, because every time he gets sick, that breaks his body down just that much more. So to have him protected like this and have him so healthy, we are just beyond ecstatic to have this going on. I posted the positive thinking report on Facebook on my personal feed, but I'm doing this personal log of positivity, and it's a little easier to explain than having to try to type it all out. And you can see my enthusiasm. You can see that this is really working. This is not a bunch of hooey I put on Facebook trying to inspire people. This is fact. You think positive things are going to happen. Yeah, there's going to be negative along the way, but not near as much and not near as severe. You know, everybody's creeping out over this Mercury retrograde, but you know what? I had some great advice from Lady Moon yesterday when I was at work. A lot of people freak out over Mercury retrograde because communications can be out of whack, blah, 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 blah. But the fact of the matter is if you've had something blocked, like communication or trying to start something new, there's been a block there. The retrograde means that it's going in reverse. So anything that's been blocked can be unblocked right now. And the negativity that's been in my life is going away because now there's room for positivity. So yeah, Mercury retrograde can be scary because you've got all this stuff you got to worry about. But if you think before you speak anyway, which let me just say is really hard for me. But if you reflect on yourself and change yourself right now, things are going to change in your life. So if you've had a crap life, if you just feel like your life has been awful lately, give it a shot now. Now is the time to try this positive thinking thing, because all those roadblocks that have been in your way can be removed. So, you know, why not get it started? Why not make the change now? Why wait? We got 58 days now of this challenge to go, and I just can't wait to see somebody say, hey, I took your challenge and you know what, it worked. My life is for the better, and I'm going to continue this way. I'm going to continue to make this change in my life so I can make changes in others. I'm just so excited to see this. I know you guys are out there. I know you guys are hearing me, and I'm still challenging you. And if you haven't gotten started yet, start your 60 days today. I want to see the difference in everybody I can reach. And, of course, I'm always here for you. So message me on Facebook, email me, whatever you got to do. Text me if you got my number. I'm here for you. Message me on YouTube. I'll get back to you. I'm here. And we're going to do this, and we're going to make a change in our own worlds. We can't make a change in the whole world until we make a change in our world. So we need to do that, and we need to get on it, because now is the time. Waiting ain't going to solve nothing. Procrastination, that's just another reason to fail. So let's get it done. Let's do this. Keep it positive. Keep it real. Have yourself a great day, and we'll be back with you soon. Bye-bye.